So as an experiment, because I'm working with a Buddhist teacher, I decided that I was going to take 3 days of complete silence. And of course, if it was during a work week and I had a session or whatever, I would obviously do the session because that's my work. But outside of that, I was going to be completely silent. I didn't know how it would work, quite frankly. I didn't know if I'd like it. I didn't know if I'd find I was filled with a bunch of anxiety, but I found something really quite different. By being silent for 3 days, I found my thoughts were much more active than I could have ever imagined. I continued to see this ruminating thoughts, some good ruminating thoughts, some not so great ruminating thoughts, but it was amazing when you're not distracted by talking to other people throughout the day, as most of us are, on the phone, on Skype, on Zoom, whatever it might be. You know, you don't notice and don't recognize how active this freaking brain is. I mean, it will revolve and revolve and revolve around the same topics that are from 2 years ago or 20 years ago, or it'll be anxiety and filled with anxiety about something that might happen in a week or 10 years. It's incredible. So I'm sitting here observing my brain, and I'm observing how it doesn't like to stay in one place. It likes to jump. It likes to move around. Now, if truth be told, I do have ADD and ADHD, but I've learned how to work around it. I don't find them as anywhere near as troublesome as I did back in 1990, for God's sake. I started to work with them. But this silence was beautiful. I also started to see that those thoughts that were ruminating, that were constantly coming up in my brain, that weren't all that great, that I could get rid of them if I focused on my breath. So a thought would come up, I don't know, let's say that I had a thought of anxiety about something. I would go, thought. Now, I'm not speaking out loud, I'm not talking to anyone else, and then I'd say to myself, David, what's creating the anxiety? And I would label it, and then, David, what are your options to deal with it? And one of the best options that I had was to go into breathing meditation. I would just follow my breath in and out of the body. Within about 10 breaths, all of a sudden, all that rumination, all that anxiety, all the worry, the insecurity, whatever the thoughts were racing, were completely gone. Now, they may come back in an hour or two, but I was shocked. I really loved the silence. Now, I'm a guy that's always doing something, right? I'm always on some kind of a project. I'm always doing some Zoom, some Skype, some phone, some something. And it was absolutely brilliant. As a matter of fact, it was so powerful that I'm going to extend it for 30 days. I'm going to go for 30 days of only speaking when absolutely necessary. And I want to see how my mind changes. I want to see how my calmness changes over 30 days of speaking only when absolutely necessary. If you want help in something like this, let me know. You're going to find out some things about yourself that you may not be that happy about. You might go, oh my God, I didn't know I had so many depressive thoughts or vindictive thoughts or thoughts of insecurity, whatever it might be. But that's a good thing. See, when you take away all the distractions, the talking, the visiting, the going out for a drink, the going out for restaurants, when you take that all away for multiple days, you're left with yourself. And when you really get to know yourself, you may find there's changes needed. Like in those 3 days of me being silent, I saw there was a lot of changes I needed to make about what was going on up here. And I'm making them. And they're making a difference, which is why I'm rolling it into 30 straight days. Let's work together. These are the type of tips that can radically change someone's life. It'll help you start to control your emotions. It'll help you start to learn what's going on behind the scenes, behind the curtain of the Wizard of Oz. What's happening back there? You can't tell if there's all this distraction. And also, I want to make this note. I only turn the television on at 9 o'clock at night or 8 o'clock at night to watch 30 minutes of basketball. That's my only interaction with the world. I don't watch the news. I don't do anything like that. So I don't have any distractions. When you don't have distractions, you're amazed at what's going on in here. And without those distractions, you can heal this. But if we keep distracting ourselves, this stuff just grows and grows and grows. Reach out to me at talkdavid.com. Don't forget, we have 4 books absolutely free at talkdavid.com. Buzzsprout is where we do these podcasts, and you can go to buzzsprout.com, Google David Essel, thousands of hours of podcasts. Until we meet again, I'm David Essel. Have a beautiful day.